I would like to be very involved with like a big like video game release. So like right now I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm working closely with Bandai for Dragon Ball, but like I would love to be like very involved, like in the development side of things. That should be in the game. That would be like a big dream of mine to fulfill. I would love to do that.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of A-Listers. My guest today is one of my oldest friends. He's a content creator, he's a gamer, he's a streamer, he's a wrestler, and he's an esports commentator. Welcome to the show, Tyrant.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, it's good to hear your voice again. It's good to see you again. And yeah, this is cool, man. Like, thanks for inviting me on.
I don't even know the answer to this question. How did you come up with the name Tyrant?
Okay, so it's pretty simple. I'm a big gamer, like obviously. I love video games of all kinds, pretty much. And one of the main series I played growing up was Resident Evil. And of course, the main villain from the first game is the Tyrant. So yeah, I figured, why not? We'll go along with that name, and yeah, it's just it's stuck, I guess.
I know you've always loved video games, as you just mentioned. I still tell people, a story from ages ago with you and Guitar Hero, knowing to put the rubber band around,
yeah, man,
for certain things. How did it evolve into you becoming a caster and commentator? Because that's very interesting to me.
So like I would go along to a lot of Street Fighter tournaments because like I love these kind of games. I love competitive games. So I would go along to a lot of UK based Street Fighter tournaments and fighting game tournaments in general. And I got to sort of chat and speak to the people behind the production side of things. They'd let me jump on the mic, at weekly events, and I'd sort of just go from there. Really, I'd fly out to fly out to European events, sort of like off my own back, pay for my own stay out there and stuff like that, and ask if they needed commentators or like obviously this is all unpaid at the time, it's all off my own, out my own wallet essentially. So I would go to a lot of these events to get experience, and yeah, it just sort of went from there, man. Like fighting games got bigger and better. We have various pro tours now with like different sponsors and stuff like that. So like start getting paid for it here and there. There's more events happening, and things are just getting bigger and bigger. So
what kind of advice would you give to someone who's like, wow, I want to do what he's doing? How do I start with casting? How do I get involved with that?
I would say just the way that most people start, just sort of see if there's any local events nearby, even if it's a couple of hours away, it's totally worth going along and just sort of getting to know your local gaming community. And sort of see how things are going there, see if they need any content done, try and get involved in the media side of things, make events, videos of these events, or see if they need someone to jump on the mic or help with production, whether it be filming it or streaming it or whatever.
You're recently getting back into training, so is wrestling back on the radar for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I saw how well a lot of the people from like our generation
Osprey, yeah,
Osprey, Pac, even got Kip Sabian, AEW. Like it's all amazing, man. Like Alex Zane killing it killing it out there. Ricky Crash killing it as well. Like all these guys are doing super well, and it's like, why the hell did I not give this a proper shot? Like it actually came at a crazy time because like when I quit wrestling, there was like nothing in the UK. It was like super quiet. A couple of years later, after I've quit wrestling now, there's a big boom. And like, being able to go to where I train now, it's like, I wish I had this when I was like, when I was fully focused on wrestling, because there was like only a couple of actual proper wrestling rings in the UK way back then. So it was super difficult to even find somewhere to train properly and to have people that would take the time to train talent. But now there's so many more like avenues to do it, and it's just so much easier. And the place I go is amazing, man. House of Pain in Nottingham. Shouts to Sticks for running that. He does a great job.
It's crazy because I talked to Zane about it. We've been close friends for years, and I talked to him about it with like, when I was in the independent scene and doing that kind of stuff, it was like, wait, backyard wrestling can never be mentioned, can never be talked about, can never be thought of. And he's like, that's why I got put on the radar on the indie scene. I did the GCW backyard show, and then everyone's like, boom. So it's kind of refreshing to hear that finally that type of stuff is getting a little more than, okay, they're not just swinging light bulbs at each other. They're putting matches together. They're having some knowledge and more training than what the average person would expect. So you're going to give it a go, which is exciting to me because you were always insane. So I know the sky's the limit.
So I actually got the word from my trainer at the last session, which was on Tuesday this week. At training session, he said, "You know what? We want to start putting you on shows." So I'm like, "Awesome, let's go!"
Hell yeah!
So that should be like either towards the end of August or like mid-November time. So pretty soon.
Keeping the same name, same moveset, same you.
Slightly different. Slightly different. Ty Hazard is the name.
Okay.
Now. So we're going with Ty Hazard now.
I like that.
Yeah. A little bit different. I've heard Tyrant is, kind of okay, but it doesn't have the same punch for wrestling. Yeah.
What is a video game series you'd love to see make a comeback that's kind of been shelved for a little bit?
I always like the Power Stone series from Capcom on the Dreamcast. Those ones, those two games are really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I would love that. Silent Hill as well. Like I love Silent Hill. So like if they would do something with that would be nice. Konami.
For you, what would you consider your highlight as your career as a caster?
Oh man, yeah, definitely. I would say either commentating at Evolution 2019, which is like, I did top 16 Dragon Ball Fighters there. That's like the biggest, like Evo, if you didn't know, is like the biggest fighting game tournament in the world. With all the games come together, thousands of people all come to Las Vegas to play. And to, it's like a huge convention, essentially, fighting game convention. And it's like, open bracket. So like you have tournaments with up to like, 3,000, 4,000 people in these tournaments, in these brackets, fighting down to like top 8 and then one winner, which is crazy. So either commentating at Evo 2019 or commentating the top 8, which is like the final 8 players for the Dragon Ball Fighters World Tour. That was like the biggest honor for me because it's like this is a franchise and a game that I love, and I've been selected to commentate the biggest part of the whole, the whole season. So that for me was like a huge honor, and I'll never forget it, man. That was like amazing in Paris with the the huge crowd and like it was insane. That was so crazy, man.
So I got this last part I have for you are some rapid fire questions. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Pulp Fiction.
Favorite video game or series?
Street Fighter. Street Fighter. Street Fighter 4 is my favorite.
Favorite superhero?
Probably Spider-Man.
What's the best console of all time?
Super Nintendo.
If you had to pick one superpower for yourself, what would it be?
Flight.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Rude people.
What's a character or characters that you think they should add to Smash Brothers in the future?
Dante from Devil May Cry. I would
I'm
like to
see
for
Goku.
Yeah, man. If they did Goku, that would be crazy. That would be like a big like whoa. But yeah, I think Dante. And then I'd like to see them kind of do something wacky and out of the ordinary. So like maybe like Master Chief or like Crash Bandicoot or something like that. Like
Crash would be awesome. Yeah. I like that. What would you do on Mars for fun?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what the gravity's like on Mars, but like probably the first thing I'll do is just like try and jump really high or like see what the gravity's like.
Try some flips.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Like we'll see what's like or it might be like heavier, so like you might like
land
on your head, you know what I'm
saying? Do you have a favorite wrestling match that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I have a couple. I'm a huge Mark, so like maybe Undertaker Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25 was super good. Like I feel like that was one of the first kind of WWE matches that had like actual like the best storytelling and the best match structure from a WWE match with those two legends. Just it was quite a spectacle. Huge. And I remember watching it with everybody and just being like kind of like in shock as it was so good. There was like crazy bumps and there was like super good spots and it was really good. Other than that, like the Jerry Lynn RVD matches in ECW is basically why I became a wrestler. Like watching those back now, they still hold up, and like watching them back then, that was like it was just like, oh wow, this is wrestling is not just about two dudes fighting. It's like an art form almost. Like,
who do you think would win, Mega Man X versus the original series Goku, meaning no GT, Super, just Dragon Ball Z?
It's got to be Goku, man. Like, I think Goku is like just so, like, he's one of the strongest comic characters. He's got to be. I will go with Goku on that one for sure.
See, I knew it would be a Goku wipe the floor if I said everything Goku's done. He's like insane now, but I was trying to see because Mega Man can steal powers.
It's that's true.
I think it'd be fun to watch.
It depends on the power ups. That's a that would be cool actually. That would be a death battles I'd like to see. I'd like to see. That's
been an anime art animation I've wanted to see for years. So I figured I'd ask someone who's the Dragon Ball Z and gaming expert.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what the Mega Man X animations on the PlayStation are super good. Like I actually really love how that looks. The art style for that's really good. The voice acting is a little bit
Oh yeah. The voice acting's a little more than a little.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I think that would be a sick little animation, man. I'd love to see.
I think the first time I ever heard them talk for that, because I played them growing up, and I had this image in my head of Mega Man X is this badass dude, and then he's just I was like, what is this? What happened? Yeah. What is one job you would be terrible at?
Oh man, probably any kind of professional sports person that isn't wrestling. Wrestling is the only sport I've ever wanted to do.
Gotcha.
Honestly, at any other team sport, I am terrible. So I would say I don't know, professional footballer, or soccer for you guys, or something like that. I would just suck balls at, man. Which one?
I was reffing you guys 4-way match that you had. And he did Selby did the big elbow onto you.
Oh,
and
bro.
I'm going over you good, and you said no, and I was like,
no, what? I remember that. So Selby basically put me on a table. Well, a table. It was it was like there was no
table. Tires and a piece of wood.
It was like two tires and a piece of wood. So it's like a platform. So it's literally there was no give at all. There was no give, and he jumped up. He climbed up this.
Yeah, he was huge.
He was 20 feet in the air, literally 20 feet. Yeah, and he jumped off, and it wasn't so basically me and Reckless did that same spot a few years before that.
It was full body weight on you.
Yeah. Me and Reckless did the same spot a couple years before, but it was on an actual table. So there was there was the piece of wood a lot higher up, and he did it on me. And even then, there was a lot of impact. And when he hit the table, I flipped over. But then when Selby did it, it was just on that little platform thing. So he just basically landed his full body weight onto my chest.
Yeah, his full body weight.
Yeah, and I he didn't land a little bit before me. It
was all on you.
Yeah, when you normally do an elbow drop, you land to the side a little bit. He just landed on me, bro. And I was like, oh my god, that was one of the most painful things I've ever done in wrestling.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Oh, medium rare, of course.
What is one food that you couldn't live without?
Oh man, chicken, any kind of chicken. I am a huge chicken fanatic, man. It's so good for so many different reasons. So absolutely chicken, yes.
What's one of your favorite memories?
It might be doing the Dragon Ball World Tour Finals, actually. That is a big that was only a couple of years ago, but that's a big thing for me. So yeah, maybe that, man. Honestly, maybe that. Might be one of the Heat Fests as well. One of the Heat Festivals, super, super, super sick. But yeah, one of those two, man. Just there's so many. Honestly, it's super hard to pick from, and they're all good. So yeah, but I would say without a doubt, one of the main ones is that Dragon Ball Finals for me. That was the massive deal.
What is your biggest goal in life, or has it already happened?
God, I don't know. I would like to be very involved with a big video game release. So right now I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm working closely with Bandai for Dragon Ball, but I would love to be very involved in the development side of things for a video game. So kind of have a lot of say in what is contained in the game and what should be in the game. That would be a big dream of mine to fulfill. I would love to do that, man.
Well, that was my last rapid fire question. I'll have everything for you linked down to the description. Awesome. What is next for you, Ty? What's next?
What's next for me? Oh man, I'm just going to keep doing my thing with the video game side of things, whether it be, content creation, streaming, working on events, commentating. I'm just going to be doing that pretty much. I'm blessed to be able to do work with video games as it is, and to be able to do what I do essentially. And of course, the wrestling, man. I'm excited to get back in the ring. I'm excited to get some matches under my belt and see where that takes me. You know, never know.